Okay, well, I never thought I would actually be on this platform speaking about this ever, or reached a point in time where something like this would actually happen. Now, of course, we're going to be as respectful as possible when it comes to any of this. I have no quarrels, no issues, nothing going on for me to speak negatively on anything. Roblox development is a crazy world, and for those that are a part of the Roblox development world, you'll understand. Acquisition is huge on the platform. I have seen games be sold, ruined, reputations smeared, studios be acquired, nothing changing too much except for the ownership of certain aspects, such as developers, owners stepping down, but still being a part of the studio. But something happened. Last night, while I was playing a game with some friends, I noticed Big Games' Discord server was in a rampage on how Big Games was basically sold. Sources being poured out from Twitter, people pointing out certain things being removed from bios, pages not following certain pages, and pretty much it's morning now, and the topic is still growing. People stepping down, people being promoted. And yes, this is an actual thing. What it means entirely, no one really knows exactly. Now, there's a lot of speculative concepts as to what happened. Rather than actually waiting for maybe a statement, maybe something perhaps in the future where we might be able to get more information, everybody is assuming Do Big, Blocks Fruits, other sources showcasing who may have acquired Big Games. But of course, I actually don't blame the community for assuming so much. There's so many things going around in social media right now where people are just trying to get more information, and it's been pretty rampant during the entire morning. Now, for me to watch absolutely everybody go crazy over what happened is honestly kind of funny to me, and not in a cynical way. It's just more of a speculative way where people are wondering what is happening, what is going on. We need to figure out this mystery. Everybody is trying to put on their thinking caps, trying to figure out what happened. For me, it's somewhat entertaining to kind of see what people's responses are. A lot of people are either happy that this happened, or they're just kind of curious as what this actually means for the future of Pet Simulator 99, and if there is even going to be a remake now. Somebody stepping down from their own game, from their own studio, is huge. Of course, with developers also doing the same, that's also really big. Now, respectively, of course, this is not something that happens overnight. This is something that actually happens in a span of weeks, months, and isn't something that just occurs randomly. People forget sometimes if something is sold, there's legalities that go around all of this. And with somebody who owns a huge studio, of course, steps need to be taken, and this is where speculation kind of hits a wall. But what if we actually hit a point where somebody just wants to step down and live their life and work on something else entirely different? When you work on something for so long, of course, you can experience burnout, and sometimes passion just goes away. Maybe you have passion for something else entirely different. Primarily for myself, I can resonate with that. I used to be really passionate for Roblox development when it came to artwork. I did a lot of artwork for a lot of games. However, I hit a point where I just didn't really want to do that anymore, and I quit entirely, and I went back into content creation. And of course, I still will draw on the side whenever I feel like it now. But I think having somebody with the power of doing what they want to do and what they're passionate about, what they're personally doing, is something great. Should anyone have gotten tired of just kind of working on the same project over and over and over again, and they just wanted to move on to something else entirely different while handing down the torch to somebody else within the studio who is extremely passionate about Pet Simulator 99 or just in general Big Games, that's respectable. Of course, this is all hypothetical speaking. Nothing's set in stone because we don't really have any information other than what we're physically seeing online. So should any of this be true, hypothetically speaking, of course, if any of this is true, we don't know what the heck is happening, and maybe, I don't know, something happens, I'm excited to see what ends up happening with anything. Another scenario could be rebranding. It's not unheard of for somebody to rebrand something entirely different. I don't really have too much to say on this because I'm not used to having a studio rebrand pretty much, nor have I been a part of something that just ended up being rebranded, so I can't really speak too much on this topic. But that is something that could also happen in this situation here, hypothetically speaking, of course. But I'll be real, this is pretty much it. I really can't speak too much on any of this because we have no idea what's going on. I don't see it as something negative, and I don't think anybody should take it as a negative. Stuff changes. Change is always bound to come. And should anything ever happen with this stuff being actually real, it's okay. Studios change, ownerships change, and at the very end of the day, we just can't sit here and speculate super duper heavy on anything until something actually physically happens where we're able to experience it firsthand. We're going to be hitting 2026. I've been a part of big games as a whole since I'm not entirely sure, maybe 2020, 2021, so it has been some years. It's almost like a goodbye that you don't want to say, and you're not sure if you should say it, or if it's even appropriate to say goodbye. But deep down, you know that you want to say goodbye, and good luck. I know I did a video basically talking about my experience with Pet Simulator and development and stuff, and Pet Simulator was always a game that I would pretty much go on when I was developing because I would get extremely stressed out over deadlines and other people pretty much. And Pet Simulator was always one of the games that I ended up playing, and it was always like a little safe spot for me. And this was around 2021 when Pet Simulator X was almost somewhat near the total completion of when a transition happened to Pet Simulator 99. This is one of the main reasons why I never speak negatively about Pet Simulator or just in general big games. It was a safe place for me at the time when I was developing. And as stupid as that sounds, Roblox development is insane. I'm not gonna lie, 4 to 5 years of just playing Pet Simulator in general is a very long time, and I cannot imagine the original people that actually played since Pet Simulator 1 seeing all of this happen. It's like seeing your big brother, your big sister, or somebody going to college and you're saying goodbye. It's like almost seeing Steve from Blue's Clues just leaving and supposedly going to college. It's giving me that same sentiment. For those that know, they know, and for those that don't know, it's like saying goodbye to Gojo on Jujutsu Kaisen. And if you don't know that, it's like saying goodbye to something important, I guess, in your life. And for those that actually don't really care about any of this, then, you know, it's pretty much like you eating the last chip inside of your bag or something. It's pretty much like that. That's like the best explanation that I can give. That's like, what can you guys pretty much relate to? Say goodbye to the last potato chip inside of your bag or something. It's kind of strange. We're basically looking at the new era of big games. Should any of this be true, of course. And I'll be real. How many times can I say I'll be real, I'll be real, I'll be real? I cannot wait to see what happens to the future of all of this, if any of this is true. I'm excited. Now, I did do a video, I want to say maybe about a month and a half ago at this point, where I basically go over Pet Simulator X and Pet Simulator 99 and pretty much go over absolutely everything as a whole for both games. In short, I feel like if we did have a remaster, and I know we're going to shift topics here for just a moment because I feel like I've been wanting to say this for a really long time, but since that video had a low viewership count, obviously not everybody was able to hear that opinion of mine. I feel like a lot of the memories off of Pet Simulator X was just pretty much based off of what happened a few years ago. Everybody was inside of their homes, they couldn't leave, so everybody was on Roblox pretty much making friends, interacting with each other, and Pet Simulator X at that time was huge. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of players on almost every weekend. And I feel like a lot of the player base really misses that. Memories that they've made with friends, people that they met online, pretty much people that they interacted with. Pet Simulator X was amazing, don't get me wrong, but I unfortunately got extremely bored very fast because there was not enough interaction between the game itself and the player. Sure, you had giant chests that you could technically break, but it took so long sometimes you had to play with friends. And by playing with friends, you were able able to talk to them, and you're pretty much being social inside of a game, where you were able to be social outside. It was a different era back then. So respectively, I understand if people really want to cling on to Pet Simulator X. I feel like if they did a remake mixing between Pet Simulator 99 and Pet Simulator X, where there's enough interaction for players to not get bored, then maybe that could be a huge success. But if we are looking at a remake, I just hope that maybe perhaps they won't do like a copy and paste of exactly what they created years ago. Because if they end up doing that, then I'm just gonna cry in a corner. But of course, the game is not gonna be created just for me. It's going to be created for the majority of the player base that really enjoyed Pet Simulator X. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that. So now what? What do? We just continue to play Pet Simulator 99, and again, should any of this be true, I wish everybody on the development team who decided to step away the best of luck. And of course, should they come out with anything of their own, I'm pretty sure I'll end up checking out their content on Roblox. I'm really excited to see if, again, any of this is true, and if anything happens with a new studio, anything that's additionally added into Roblox by them. I cannot wait to see what happens. It's pretty much an end of an era to start something new. And, of course, with that being said, everybody, I would love to know what you guys think about this. As mentioned before, I'm not here to negatively speak about anybody or a studio or something that I really enjoyed back then and pretty much make content on now. I have nothing bad to say. I know with other people there's different opinions, and sometimes those opinions are just based off of negativity, and I'm not really here to do that. The only thing that we could really do is just kind of wait and see what ends up happening. Not everything is something negative. It doesn't have to be. So, of course, until then, I will see you guys all later, and I'm pretty sure I'll be giving away some more things later on, but I figured I would just go over this very swiftly and not do any assumptions on my end. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Okay, bye.